long way.
The first one.
That one looks pretty legit though. Like especially through the camera. Look at it.
It's way better than this.
Touch it with your hands, the oil from your fingers will burn a different.
Oh, it'll change the color.
Change how it burns.
Makes sense. I would not have thought about that.
Find out really quick. You got to look at the wood and see which way it cups. So once you set it on the CNC, you got to correct the cupping. Put it down this way, then the center's too high, so it won't be flat on the table. So it'll carve deeper in the middle instead of the sides and everything. So that's the way to go because it kind of cups this way with the grain.
Yeah, and like you said, perfect pack.
Yeah,
straighten it out too.
Exactly.
What day was that?
That's 150. That's the best grit to get the stain to penetrate, and just to get all the mill marks out of it. Because the mill's against this belt that kind of pushes into it. Also, if it's on the side of mills, then you'll get the lines and all that stuff, which also burn kind of weird. But I used to char it with the torch, but you remove moisture from the surface of the board when you torch it, so it'll kind of contract that surface and make it bow a separate way. So I like to use stain. And with stain you're adding moisture, so you have to torch it right away to remove the moisture that you just added to the wood. But I like to use a stain with like a little bit of red in it.
Wipe on?
Oh yeah, wipe on, wipe off, and then you dry it instantly with the torch. And now, because I kind of touched the whole top, just go across with it a little bit wet. Just try to even everything out. Try to get all the flammable stuff away from it at this point. I'm not looking to get any like char or anything out of it, just kind of cure all the stain, get all that excess moisture out of the wood. Get it to sit flat on the CNC table. At this point we're good to go. You just want to take a second read, make sure you didn't mess anything up, and right now we're still good. Get that positive cupping that we're looking for. Then you get to see which way you want to do it. If you want the grain facing that way or that way. But I usually like to leave the widest grain toward the bottom, so we get the star field, and then the stripes kind of come out nice right there. So we'll put it in the machine that way. And I cut this square with the machine, so I know my X and Y zero is going to be the same every time. And that's just inlaid in the table, so then I can just lay the flag down. And we know that's zero, good to go. Then we just lay our clamps down. It doesn't really matter the orientation as long as you get it to add a little clamping force to make it sit flat on the table. As you can see, when I put that one down, it raised it up. That's that cupping we're looking for. Because then once I clamp this one down, I know we're flat on the table. Just gotta go around, check, make sure we're sitting flush on all sides, and we're good to go on this one.
Good now.
So I just zeroed the machine off, and I'm just setting the dust boot to the size of the material, so you can raise and lower depending on the thickness of the stuff you got on the table. So I can set it just above where I'm gonna carve. So after that, I'll send it roughly to the middle of the material, so I can get my Z0, which is up and down. I don't like to zero at the corner, because the middle is going to be the most accurate you're going to get.
Yeah.
So this touch probe, you ground the bit, and once it senses that it touched it, it kind of just knows that you're there. So in this case, I don't have the clearance, so I'm going to raise my bit up a little bit. And I've forgotten to put the ground on it a few times. You can imagine that goes. Alright, now it knows what 0 is. Alright, at this point we're ready to carve stuff. So at this point, just run it back, and that's when I do the bit change to a flat end mill.
Okay. And that's how you're gonna get the stripes.
Yep.
Okay.
So there's a few, like this one's a single flute.
Yeah.
That's what I use to carve acrylic and stuff with. This is a down cut bit. So most time drill bits will pull the material up and out.
Yeah.
This will actually push it down. So you're not going to get all that frill and fuzz on the top. It'll just make a clean cut all the way across. So. We'll disable all this V carving. So highlights in a red once I hover. So it did the Air Force and the stars, then it went down to the aircraft and now the words. So I'll just delete all those. Now we just select all the stripes. Make sure we got the right bit in there.
So you have to tell it what bit it has.
Yeah. So for this one, I do a depth per pass 0.05. Do 130 inches per minute feed rate. The plunge is 30. And the final depth is going to be 0.06. So it's going to do one pass, 0.05, and then it's going to do a finishing pass of 0.01.
Okay.
To achieve the final, a little cleanup pass. And it's going to be a pocket cut, so Basically, all those little blue lines is where it's going to carve. So you can see it's going to go around and around and around.
Yeah.
And that will supposedly take about 10 minutes.
Alright.
So I'll send that over here, and we can get carving. Looks like right off the table for the burn. So when I burn it, I'm looking for two things basically to get rid of all the little fur that it drags up when it carves, and to give a little char on the light stripes. So. About ready for a clear coat. I forgot to do this a few times. Clear cut comes out pretty bad.
Man, the difference that makes.
Oh, it gets a nice deep color that you don't see.
And it just pops the details in the jet so much more. Like on the camera, well, the camera was kind of hard to pick out the, you know, all the, like I can see it with my eyes, but in the camera it didn't come out that great. But now,
Oh, I see.
like,
It's
you're legit, dude.
Thank you. Come a long way.
The first one.
The one looks pretty legit though. Like especially through the camera. Look at it.
Looks way better than this.
You need to tell them where to find you.
Where to find me?
Yeah, like if they wanted to get something like this big.
I'm on Facebook, Tegmeyer Custom Woodworks. Here's my Facebook page. Facebook.com/Ted Custom Wood. Find me there.
There it is. So yeah, not our normal stuff we do on the channel, but definitely something cool. So make sure you guys show him some love, hit his like on the Facebook page, and maybe give him some comments, tell him to start his own channel, because that'd be something cool.
Yeah, this one's for a good cause too. Retired F4 pilot Air Force. I don't know how many years he did, but his family's really excited to get it. So.
But yeah, so like I said, give him a like over at his Facebook page. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button here, and we'll check out on the next one.